So let's talk about Tony Ferguson real quick. Tony Ferguson, man. Talk about a downfall. I've looked at his Sherdog. I'll post a picture. I believe he's at like 8 losses in a row. I think it's at least 6. Maybe no more than 8. Might be 7. Dude, I mean, I think it's like 7 or 8. Dude is just had probably one of the worst downfalls I have ever seen. But again, if we look at his skill sets, it's not really a downfall. He fights the same way he's always done. He's just fighting guys who are so much better now that his skill set can't keep up. He hasn't improved his skills at all. If you stand in front of him and have very poor defense, very poor footwork, like Donald Cerrone, he can do well against you. You just have this like weird, awkward brawl with him where you're both getting hit like crazy. Tony will take 10, kind of like Mike Perry, but then give you one back really hard, and he'll just do that throughout the whole fight to the point where he's taking a crazy amount of damage, but it doesn't matter because his chin's better than yours, so he can eventually accumulate shots on you and maybe put you down or win a decision. But either way, it's going to be a war. So, like if you just stand in front of him, you don't have a good defense, you don't have good footwork. Yeah, he might be able to beat you like he did Donald Cerrone, like Anthony Pettis, like, Josh Thompson, like a lot of other guys that he's fought and won and had these wars with. But, like when you're actually good and you move your head and you move your feet and you keep your hands up, he doesn't do too well against you. So, I mean, yes, has his skill set declined? Maybe a little. Has his speed and strength declined? Yeah, for sure. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is his skill set. A lot of people, they don't understand when these fighters have a downfall. It's usually not because, like I would say 9 times out of 10, it's because they're fighting guys that are better. Tyron Woodley had the same speed in the Jake Paul fights as he did in the UFC. As he did in his championship fight where he won the belts against Robbie Lawler. He had the same speed. Sorry. I don't know if Tony Ferguson was behind me. I'm going to have to defend myself. The boogeyman. It's funny they calls him, his nickname's El Cucuy. Should be El Stupido. Because should be El Pendejo. Because dude's one of the most delusional people and fighters I've ever seen in my entire life. So, again, Tyron Woodley had the same speed in the Robbie Lawler fight as he did when he fought Jake Paul several years later. He didn't slow down. His strength didn't decline. He's still fast. He's still ripped. He's still in really good shape. Like, that's not why he had a downfall. He had a downfall because he started fighting better guys. His skill set got exploited. His lack of fundamentals, his inability to have proper boxing fundamentals, throw a jab, throw a 1-2, throw a right to the body, have good footwork. I don't even think he throws kicks, to be honest with you. I don't think he really throws elbows either. He wrestles at certain times, but he doesn't really use it that well in many of his fights. Can't go backwards to save his life. When you make him go backwards, dude just like shuts down and just will literally not throw strikes or not do anything for minutes on end if you can pressure him the same way Usman and Colby did. Like, it's his skill set. He's one of those guys where like you have to stand in front of him and like not do anything for him to feel comfortable enough to throw. So, like, he didn't have a downfall because his skills went away. He had a downfall because the competition got that much better. I'm going to be saying that same stuff hundreds of times on this channel because it's true and people don't understand it. These fighters don't have downfalls because they lose their skill, because they're getting older. Tyron was just as athletic, just as strong. They have downfalls because the competition increases. The competition's skill level is higher than theirs. Theirs doesn't increase. That's the way it is. So, same thing with Tony Ferguson. Like, sorry, I'm stepping on all this stuff here. Same thing with Tony Ferguson. Tony's like, yes, maybe his skill level decreased a little bit. Maybe his speed and strength did decrease. I don't think that much, to be honest. He's never been like a strong guy. He's never been that fast. Look at the Donald Cerrone fight. Go look at other fights. he's not like a fast guy. He's just a guy that will sit there with you and trade and exchange and take 5 punches to land one big one. That's just what he does. So, like, you know, it's not really because of skill. It's just because he never really had that much skill. And the guys he's beating weren't very high level. That's why he's getting X'd out now. You know? And, yeah. Is what it is. Probably, I thought Donald Cerrone was probably one of the worst downfalls I've ever seen. You know, Luke Rockhold's up there, Cody Garbrandt's up there, a couple other guys. But I think Tony Ferguson now, because he's sticking around, is just so delusional, and the UFC miraculously hasn't cut him, even though he deserves to be cut. I think he's probably the worst downfall I've ever seen. So I'm going to say it here. Tony Ferguson was never that good. You can be mad at me. Oh, you're not in there. You're not the one fighting. How can you say that? That you don't have the right. I do. If it's true, anyone has the right to say it. Tony Ferguson was never that good. He was just fighting guys who were worse than him. He was never that good. He was just fighting guys that were less good than him. Now the guys are actually pretty decent, have well-rounded skills. He's getting X'd out. He's getting destroyed. Is what it is. Probably the worst downfall in MMA history. Is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So if you guys want to learn how to put on muscle faster, more efficiently, more expeditiously than ever before, maybe you've never bulked before, maybe you've never put on a substantial amount of muscle before, maybe you've never even stepped in a gym before. Doesn't matter. Beginner to advanced to elite bodybuilder, I can help you out. So I have a free group Telegram that I will send you a link to. You can join the group. I give free tips there. I answer questions. We do some Zoom calls, things like that. I'll say you can DM me on my Instagram. I'll put my Instagram down below. Shoot me a DM. I'll send you the free Telegram. We'll go from there. Beyond that, I have a paid group. You can join that in the future if you want. But for now, just join the free one. Just get as much value as you can from that. And if you're interested in working with me further, we can go from there. So I'll leave my Instagram down below. You can DM me there, get in the free group, get you in the gym, get you building muscle, get you making a substantial amount of progress, even in the free group. You don't even have to pay me. So, my name's Angelo. This is The Art of Violence. Until next time.